Within every single GTA game, there have always been features and aspects of each title that we have either loved or hated. However, instead of making a wish list of things that we want to see in GTA 6, which I've already made that video and you should definitely check it out, we're going to be looking at things that we don't want Rockstar to do with GTA 6, whether this be in-game content or just decisions and features within the game. We've only seen Futuristic Tech in 2 GTA games. The first time was back in GTA San Andreas during the mission in which CJ had to break into Area 69. At the end of the mission, he escapes using a military jetpack. The second time we've had Futuristic Tech has been in GTA 5 with the Deluxo, the Oppressor Mark II, laser weapons, and so on. For GTA 6, I believe that Rockstar should exclude any futuristic weapons and vehicles, so then that way, it will feel more like a GTA game that the franchise was built upon. It would also cause less issues like this. The only situation in which I would allow for it would be if we saw references to it. For example, if Jason or Lucia were to stumble upon an unusable prototype version of the Oppressor, or maybe schematics on a wall of the railgun. Having references would be interesting, but having high-tech gadgets and vehicles would make the game feel like less of a GTA game. The one piece of content that I didn't enjoy was the government-themed DLC, more specifically, the Doomsday Heist. The idea of working for the US government to save the world would be a good idea for a sci-fi or futuristic-themed game. However, GTA is not a sci-fi or futuristic-themed game. The theme of the game is to be a criminal, whether that be building an enterprise or robbing banks, not working for the government. In GTA 5's story, the characters did work for Steve Haynes and Dave Norton, and while they worked for the FIB, the time spent working for them didn't make the game feel like a Men in Black style of storytelling with futuristic tech and a crazy, outlandish story. It was more of criminals working on the inside with a portion of small local corruption within the city's law enforcement. One of the worst decisions that Rockstar could make with GTA 6's online mode would be allowing players to transfer their GTA 5 characters to GTA 6. I'm more specifically talking about the progression, not necessarily the character model itself. I do think it's okay if Rockstar were to allow players to transfer the likeness of our online characters, but not the progression. Doing so would ruin the progression system that players would have to go through for GTA 6's online mode. It would also create an unfair advantage for those who want to start fresh, but then are being outplayed by the players who would already have millions of dollars. Rockstar added 2 additional DLC stories to GTA 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost MC. As for GTA 5, the post-story DLC got cancelled, and as a result, the single player became very boring compared to the content of GTA Online. I just hope that Rockstar realizes that while GTA Online does make a lot of money, that's mainly due to the added content. People who play single-player games also do enjoy that same type of content. You just have to allow them to have it. And even better, they'll even pay for it rather than it being a free online update. Overall, many players do want to see the continuation of Jason and Lucia's story outside of the main story, while it also provides more things to do. One issue within GTA Online is the inflation of money in the game. At first, it wasn't that bad, but after people were getting higher and higher payouts, the payments of cars, clothing, and properties also got higher. Because, let's be honest, Rockstar, I don't really feel like paying $3 million for a car that looks like it's 10 years old or older. Let's make it simple. If it's not a luxury item, or if it doesn't look like a luxury item, then don't put a luxury price on it. It's as simple as that. One of the issues within GTA 5 that we don't want to see in GTA 6 is a bare open world. More specifically, we don't want an open world state of Leonida without side content and things to do outside of the main story. We also don't want to see parts of the map that aren't being utilized in some way, because if Rockstar does that, then some parts of the map would feel unneeded. Although GTA 5 does have side missions and random events, there aren't enough things outside of the main story to provide entertainment, especially throughout the rest of the map. Another issue within GTA 5 was the lack of an evolving world. There are quite a few construction sites within the game that never finished production to prove this point, such as the High Mayo Club, this building near the High Mayo Club, and this unfinished house. However, the only evidence to suggest an evolving world is within Weasel News on the radio.
Up to 4 tons of gold have disappeared from the supposedly unrobbable Union Depository earlier in a dramatic raid. Having hacked into the computer system to clear an unusually large shipment of gold for transfer, the criminals hijacked an armored car and convinced the bank workers to give them the precious metal willingly. The robbers were engaged by both security forces and a Merryweather security team, but escaped. The scale of the robbery led to a spike in gold prices.
As you play through the story, the news stations will make remarks to certain events that the protagonists are involved in. With all that being said, if GTA 6 were to not have an evolving world, the game's surroundings would be too boring and wouldn't be interesting. One thing that I definitely don't want to see in GTA 6 is having too much realism. Having immersive realism is great, but we don't want restrictive realism. For example, having a more realistic driving system compared to GTA 5 may be fun for some, but having to refuel our car would make the driving system feel restrictive. It is possible for Rockstar to make GTA 6 immersive without making the game feel too restrictive. They just need to find a good balance within the game. A popular trend that we've seen with online games for quite a while is each game having their own season pass system. To be honest, I'd rather not have Rockstar follow that trend with GTA 6's online mode. The reason is because with a season pass system, many cosmetics and items are locked behind each season, and once that season is gone, so are the items. With that being said, I don't want GTA 6's online mode to have those same issues, because we've already had similar issues with GTA Plus within GTA Online. Speaking of GTA Online, it's been notoriously called a cloud simulator for many years due to its loading screens. Now, I will admit that there are properties within the game in which multiple players own, and because of that, I do understand if Rockstar has to implement one for those areas. Because yeah, it would be weird to walk into my own apartment with someone being there. Although, they could make it to where it looks seamless, making it feel as if it doesn't exist. As for public interiors, like the casino, where everyone is going to be, make it part of the open world. Don't ruin the pacing of the game with a loading screen with those types of areas. Although Rockstar makes amazing stories, they feel linear sometimes. I will give them credit though, as decisions that you make within GTA 4, 5, and RDR2 have affected the way you play a mission and complete the story. With GTA 6's storyline, they should continue to allow the story to feel more open as you play. As an example, maybe the player has 2 options on how to deal with someone. Maybe if you choose to save them, the person who gave you the mission may not like that or reward you as much, but later down the road in the game, another character might make a certain part of the game easier. Another example may be choosing what places to rob within the main story and how we go about that. If Rockstar wants to apply one definitive ending, it's okay, but I'd like to have different options that either make it easier or more difficult for me to get there. It would also make each player's experience more unique and different and would add a lot more replayability. With GTA 6's location going to be Vice City and the state of Leonida, it's pretty clear as to what type of music most people are going to be expecting, and that's some 80s music. If it isn't 80s, they'll probably add more modern music with a similar style. But overall, Rockstar needs to make sure that the soundtrack of this game isn't boring or off-putting. What I mean by that is making sure that the music fits the vibes and the tone of the game. With that being said, don't add music that doesn't fit within the game. I want to go back to the topic of GTA Online for these last 3 topics. But one issue that GTA Online still has is the issue of crossplay and cross-platform not being available. For GTA 6's online mode, I'd like to be able to play with people on Xbox when I'm on PS5, and when the PC version releases, I like to play PC players, but that's only if they fix the modding issue within the game. I actually have at least 3 to 4 other friends who play on the other platforms. So for GTA 6, I'd like to have that option to play with them when the game releases. I don't want to be restricted based on the platform I choose to play on. Earlier, I talked about my frustration with the Season Pass, and now I want to talk about subscriptions and paywalls. If anyone at Rockstar is listening, which I doubt considering how small of a channel I am, don't include a subscription service, or at least at the beginning. After a year or 2 might be fine, but don't add content that is blocked behind a paywall. If you do, a lot of people won't be happy about it. If you added benefits like an extra $500,000 every month, a little extra money or RP when completing a mission, or different monthly discounts on purchases is fine. What people don't want from it is exclusive vehicles, clothing, properties, and game improvements. Doing so would put many people at a disadvantage compared to those who are willing to fork over an extra $8 a month. CFX.RE is a fan-made community that built 5M. Rockstar actually bought out CFX.RE, and many people have speculated that Rockstar bought them out to use them for GTA 6. With that being said, Rockstar does have the potential to implement user-generated content and to implement features that encourage user-generated content. One easy way would be allowing custom liveries that people could apply to their cars, similar to Forza Horizon, or custom clothing and cosmetics. In a more complicated way, Rockstar could implement a digital marketplace where people can create and share custom content. But because I doubt that they'd implement it into single player and make it online only, the majority of it would have to be cosmetic. That way, it doesn't create an imbalance and that no one would be at an advantage or disadvantage. The last thing I want to talk about is the shark cards. Although I've never bought many of them, I don't want them included in the beginning of GTA 6's online mode. The only reason for this is because I don't want to have an unfair advantage to those who are willing to spend hundreds of dollars. At the beginning of GTA Online for GTA 5, everyone had to grind out the missions over and over, which meant that everyone was at a fair advantage at some point. Although some might be annoyed by that decision, I think not including shark cards would be a better option as a beginning standpoint. If they did implement shark cards, I also feel as if GTA 6's online mode would be a hassle to earn money in-game without feeling forced to buy the money. However, we are now at the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then please be sure to leave a like down below. Also, if you're new to the channel and you don't want to miss out on any of my content, then be sure to subscribe down below. If you guys have any ideas as to what you want to see on the channel, then be sure to leave a comment down below as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.